I'm not going to keep this hat on for long because it won't fit my headphones. And my arms are already getting tired.
Mary Robinson.
She answered the question. She said no, so then I went, okay.
And Phil Tremblay.
Nebraska could disappear
I
off
know
the
it's in the
face of the
States,
earth,
but where's
and it would not
Nebraska?
affect me any.
Grab a seat because the show starts right now.
Welcome to the season 1 finale of the Coast to Coast podcast. Alex Furco and our wonderful guest from way out east, yet somehow right beside us here, just tickling his little,
It's Braeden
little
Redshaw.
chin right here.
It's
Mr.
Braeden
Braeden
Redshaw.
Redshaw doing us the honor of staying up till, what is it now, 2 in the morning out there?
It is 1:45 for Redshaw right now.
And
I'm
he's here.
past my bedtime, Phil. Up past the bedtime, 1:44 a.m.
Anyway, we're back with the final show. It's been a handful of months. It's a
Yeah.
lot of hockey talk.
So we're going to release a compilation. I'm going to release a compilation sometime in July here. There's going to be the much requested Honolulu compilation. It's going to be part of that.
The best
any funny
compilation.
That guy's
moments?
been asking for that forever.
Yeah. So that's going to come out at some point in July here. But and in order to do that, I'm working my way through all the other shows.
You're so tired of my voice.
We've
aren't
made
you?
a lot of content.
We have made so much that no one's ever watched.
I know how much work has gone into this, and it's a little bit bittersweet that it's the season finale.
Yeah.
You know, obviously it's not going to be that long. We're going to be away for a month and a half, but we're not really going away because we have a bunch of off-season content, a couple long-form stuff, a lot of short-form stuff. And then we're back in September for season
Season
2. I mentioned on the CMRU.ca pre-show that we are possibly thinking about maybe changing the name. There's rumblings that we're gonna agree to terms with a new band to make a new intro for us.
We absolutely have. We're working on
I
it.
wonder which band that could be.
Which band could that possibly be?
It's
Who are
definitely
we
not,
talking about?
It's definitely not a band that had their radio premiere on another one of Alex's radio shows.
It definitely wasn't. No way. That's all stuff to look forward to in the summer and when we come back in September. But as far as this show, this is our first show we've had since the free agency market opened up.
Yes, so there's lots of hockey things to talk about.
There's a lot of hockey things to talk about. Let's start with signings that teams have made.
Absolutely.
On our pre-show, we kind of talked about various signings. Anaheim, starting off with Anaheim. Jansen Harkins is probably the biggest name that they've signed.
And then just another look at it, Seneke also got signed.
Yeah, he
They
did.
signed their first round draft pick, which is pretty exciting. Number 3, who we didn't really expect to be number 3, he is signed to Anaheim Ducks. They're his. A move that they probably should have done with their 2021 draft pick a few years ago. I'm not going to get into that. I'm still a little bitter.
A little bitter. Not Phil. not Phil.
No.
Phil could never.
I'm just saying they'd be a lot better team if Sean Chagall was on their team. Anyway, Anaheim Ducks, nothing super notable other than that, I would say, in the past few days. Like, they made some moves. None of them are crazy. Moving on.
To Boston with Lindholm and Zadorov.
The Boston moves now. Here's where it gets a little bit exciting. Now, these are two guys that obviously Calgary Flames lost in kind of like the heat of the season last year.
I miss both of them.
I miss both of them enormously, especially Big. No, we can't call him Big Z anymore.
No,
He's
we
not
can't.
Big
There's
Z
already
anymore
a Big Z.
because
There's already a Big Z in Boston.
There's already a Big Z.
Can't say that.
So above average Z,
Yeah.
moving to the
Above
Boston
average
Bruins.
Z.
We loved him here in Calgary.
He's bigger than the average bear. Because
He's a Bruin.
Bruins.
That was good. 6 years for Zadorov.
Bradshaw and I slapped our knees at the same time.
That was good.
I didn't even see that.
Let's go.
Yeah, Braeden
No,
can't
yeah,
even see it.
that was pure luck.
We can see him. He's sitting right here
That's
anyway.
the thumbnail.
Nikita Zadorov. Are they crazy to commit to 6 years of above average Z?
For the man who is bigger than the average bear, how old is he? He
29.
is 29, so 6 years. That's fine. Like
At $5 million?
That takes him to about 35, which is about when careers start to peter off a bit.
Fair enough.
This is probably the last big contract that he was going to get anyway.
Probably. It's cool, kind of cool that it's with.
Which, no disrespect.
Bruins.
I love Zadorov when he was here. I wish he would come back, but sadly he's off to Boston. No, yeah, I'm fine with 6 years for Nikita, absolutely.
Fair enough. Regia?
Yeah, I mean, like we've talked about, the two of those two have been together for, it's almost like a package deal, right? One signs a 6 year, the other one gets a 6 year. Like, keeping them together is, I mean, Boston's been great in the regular season. It just, the second they get to the postseason right now, there's just the Florida Panthers always waiting for them. And right now, Florida's got their number.
Absolutely. And it seems that way that Florida Panthers have everybody's number. Moving on to the Florida Panthers here, because that was a pretty good little segue as I try and find my tab that has the Florida Panthers open on them.
We were talking about the extensions or the signs that they, kind of the biggest ones that they have signed were Dmitry Kulikov and Anton Lindell, keeping their, or to the best of their abilities, keeping their Stanley Cup core together, even though they've lost. They lost OEL to Toronto. They've lost
Montour. Montour's the big one that I think
Utah,
they've lost.
I believe.
No, Seattle.
Seattle, sorry. They lost Tarasenko to Detroit.
That's another big one. Lomberg to Calgary as well.
Lomberg to Calgary, making his return. We'll touch on that in a bit.
Yeah, but obviously the Lindell
Signing.
Lindell signing is the biggest move because that's a 6-year contract there.
Yeah, and we were talking about this on the first take of this show. The majority of the signings that we've had were like 1 or 2 year. You had the occasional 6 with Zadorov, Lindholm, and now Lindell. I guess they're trying to keep the band together as long as they can because...
I mean, who wouldn't?
Exactly. They're red hot right now. Obviously with 2 Stanley Cup final appearances in the past 2 years.
Yeah, absolutely. A 22-year-old getting a 6-year contract with a Stanley Cup team that he just won the cup with, that's got to be huge for Anton Lindell.
Imagine being 22 and making millions a year.
I can't imagine it.
God,
Can't imagine either. I know.
I feel like this is almost especially with how many 1 years it's been, I feel like this is if we keep as much as we can keep together, does this then suit us back together for another playoff run? And I mean, all the numbers do spell yes.
Yeah, but you've also lost Montour, which is probably your biggest defenseman
I think
in that run.
They've lost some big pieces.
They lost some big pieces.
Oh, like you just said, OEL, Tarasenko, Montour, Lomberg. Those are big pieces to lose, especially right after winning a Stanley Cup.
I feel like Florida's not done though. I wouldn't be surprised.
No, I agree with you there.
There's so much more runway left until the next season. They have so much more they can do. But that's not that losing who they've lost isn't nothing.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, no. It's hard to ignore like the writing on the wall of, hey, these guys that were massive players for you, they're not going to be there next year.
Yeah, it is. It is tough. I still think Florida's going to be great. As long as they have Bobrovsky, they're probably okay.
So we can get Red Shaw involved in the conversation a bit more. What do you think of the Alex Barboulay signing, which is the only signing that Montreal has done to this point? It's
one of the only 2 moves we've done, other than, signing the second coming of Wayne Gretzky, Slavgolsky. To a nice extension there. I love that move.
He deserves that also, for sure.
We're kind of just sitting around doing nothing. It almost feels like we're kind of waiting to make a big move, like a big trade, just with the lack of pieces we've gone out to go get. And of our like unrestricteds, only 2 so far have left. Other than that, we've got Justin Barron as a restricted. I mean, I hope we do keep him because I liked watching him when he was playing in Halifax. I think he's going to be really good. I think, however, if we do make a trade, he's going to be a piece in that trade. He's a young defenseman. He's got a lot of talent. I feel like one thing that has to happen for Montreal to take the next step is to go make a big move, and not something necessarily that's going to break the team apart. Because we did just 5th pick was great in the draft. I love Demidov. I think he's going to be amazing for us.
Absolutely.
I just feel like there's going to be a piece. I feel like there's a piece missing still. I just don't know who's on the trade block and who Montreal is able to go get.
Who do you want, or who would you be okay with, like, letting go? Because if you're looking for Montreal to make a big move, that means you're getting rid of big players as well. So who would you want Montreal to cut loose?
I feel like if there's a big move coming, it's going to be on the defensive side. So I would not be surprised at all if, like I said, if it is like we sign Barron and then he's going strap a couple picks together, and then I'd hate to say it, but he was so good this year, and like he is literally one of the veterans on the team just with how young they are. I feel like if there's a big defensive move, Matheson might go, and I don't want to see that because he was great for us this year.
I was just looking at the roster, and I was looking at you mentioned defensemen. I was like, who are the named defensemen that you could use for a piece of a big trade? And I was looking at Matheson, and I was looking at Wi-Fi Arbor-Jcash as well.
I could see Jcash getting moved. I just don't know. Like, that's the thing. We haven't done a whole lot. Like, we haven't made like a whole lot of splashes in free agency. I felt like our draft was actually really good this year.
Yep.
It just kind of feels like overall in the league as well, there's a couple teams sitting around almost waiting to make a big move. It just doesn't, you don't know who it's for yet. And right now, like, there's no indications of anything of, is this guy on the trade block? Is this guy wanting out? It's almost like the buying team has to make the move first at this point.
Yeah, fair points all around.
Moving off the Canadiens to one of probably the most active teams as far as star power since free agency opened up in the Nashville Predators.
Nashville Predators are going to be a scary team next year.
They might be a problem.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Just the first day, Stamkos, Marchessault.
Are you kidding me?
What is happening?
Are you kidding me?
Are you
kidding me?
That's what I'm saying. That's my tagline.
Nashville's getting some serious pull here. Like
serious firepower.
Brewing in Nashville.
Absolutely. What do you think about Nashville, Alex?
I think
disagree with us?
They're not going to win the division, but they're not. The moves that they made were great. It's not Dallas or Colorado great. They might do some damage in the playoffs, assuming they get there. They added Steven Stamkos, Jonathan Marchessault, Brady Shea, and Scott Wedgwood
on the first day. Really,
those
really
are your
active.
day one
moves.
I feel like Nashville, if they did have the free agency plan, they nailed it. Like, if you want your guys, go and get them. There's no point to sit around and wait and hope that, if you wait them out, they might drop the price. Go out, buy them for what you want.
I mean, it's crazy. Like, you look at this, Nashville literally stole 2 of the best teams of the last 3 years. They went into their doorstep and took away their franchise players.
The most valuable asset is cap space. And once the clock starts on July 1st, you don't have time to sit around and think.
No.
You gotta start moving. If you have $20 million cap space, go use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to have options 1, 2, and 3 lined out, and they didn't even have to look at option B. They had option A worked out for them, all their signings.
Yeah, so I think those are great moves from Nashville. I am scared of them.
As a Flames fan, I was hoping that Calgary would pick up Marchessault because they also had a fair amount of cap space heading into
crazy.
July 1st. That would have been nuts. But seeing him go to Nashville, I imagine Casey's probably fairly happy because Marchessault.
And Stamkos.
Marchessault?
Hot. Stamkos as well. He's not a bad looking dude.
No, he's not.
I feel like Stamkos is more Casey's type. Like you look at Stamkos, and there's some Coleman in there. I see it. I think Stamkos is probably more Casey's type.
We should text her.
We should text her. Are you kidding me? Tell me she's not listening live
No,
here
she's
on
not.
CMRU.ca by Students for You.
We almost had her joining the show too, but unfortunately she was unable. But
It was
Braeden
close.
Redshaw.
We have Mr. Braeden Redshaw.
Indeed.
Nashville Predators looking good after the first week of free agency. Where are we going to next, Alex?
Let's bring it in town. Let's talk about the Flames.
Oh, we got lots to talk about with the Calgary Flames.
We do have
I
lots to
think.
talk about the Calgary Flames.
Where's my Calgary Flames tab?
So
This is crazy how many tabs
It's
are
a
Anthony-
story, though.
Anthony
Couple
Mather
years,
from
couple
Vegas,
years.
Jake Bean from Columbus, Ryan Lomberg from the Panthers, not Logan Cooley, Devin Cooley from the Sharks, Aspero from the Wranglers just kind of re-signed. Same with Kirkland, I believe, is another re-signing.
And then on top of that, they signed their first round draft picks in Zane Parrick and Matvey Braeden, as well as their second round draft pick in Etienne Morin. Second round draft pick was from 2022. So, man, how does it feel? It feels so good to see a front office doing things.
You know what?
Whether they're not, I mean, maybe they're not as good as Nashville, but it feels good to see them doing something.
To me, it's not about that. To me, it's about, okay, this is great. We have a direction.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
my
100%.
God. It is so refreshing to, after the management in Calgary have been kind of pushing off the idea of a rebuild or a retool or whatever for years, just being mid, just being fine with being mid,
Yeah.
just a one round of a playoff and out being fine for them.
Yeah.
It is so refreshing to have them be like, nope, we're rebuilding, we're retooling. These aren't guys that are gonna make a cup winning team, but they're guys that have the potential to be that in 3 or 4 years.
Absolutely.
Your Perricks, your Cooley, assuming you can get like a bit more ice time and a bit more kind of training in there.
Absolutely.
Lomberg coming back. You have that. He's a gritty player.
Yeah.
Which since Zadorov left, Calgary's been lacking.
Yep.
And I have no stats to point to when I say this. I love Jake Bean.
Jake Bean.
I love him.
Jake Bean, former Calgary Hitman. You always love to see Calgary Hitman coming back to play with the Calgary Flames. On top of that, if you take into those moves and consider how many RFAs that they still have that they're likely going to bring back, at least if they don't, I'm going to cry. You're looking
Klapka
at
and
Dustin
Wolf. Pelletier.
You're looking at Pelletier. You're looking at Schwinn, Solovyov, Kuznetsov. Man, in 6 years when we get that new arena,
Oh boy.
I don't
We're
want to
gonna
get
be
too
a
excited because it's going to be a
problem.
long 6 years. But I think there might be something to get excited about.
Guys, in
By
2030,
2030, guys.
just wait for 2030.
Calgary Flames 2031
Wait,
Stanley Cup
guys,
champions.
wait.
Which in a sentence sounds stupid, but
That's the position
great.
we're in.
Yeah,
That's
like,
the position we're in.
like we're driving 2030. Like top 10 team or 60.
Still where we are.
Yeah,
I would
mid.
much
You know what?
rather.
Me personally, after sitting through some of those Tuesday mornings, listening to Phil about just who are the Calgary Flames this
Yeah.
week, what are they doing? It's nice to see that they were like, all right, gotta stop jumping up and down and all around, not knowing who we are. We are gonna get a couple younger guys, get some guys that are gonna build a new foundation of the team, and kind of start moving them in an upward trajectory.
Absolutely. The only one I'm a little bit sad to hear that we're likely not going to get back is Oliver Shillington.
Yeah, there's
There's quite a debate going on
don't
online right now. I don't really want to super get into it.
don't if you haven't been one of the commenters on any of those Instagram posts, continue to not be a commenter. Don't
No,
look
it's
at
brutal.
them. If you have been a commenter, stop.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
You know, that we're not going to get into it, but you know, Shillington's making the choice that he feels like he's worth more. Calgary doesn't see it. It happens all the time. Like, no, this is a situation where neither side is wrong.
Yeah.
Shillington's doing the best, like, because it's a business. Shillington wants more than Calgary's offering him. It's not about like being like gracious towards a team that was like lenient with you, a long leash or whatever. It's not about that. It's, man, I'd hate to get kind of like deep and dark about this, but the pandemic changed a lot for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And if Shillington wants to put his body on the line to make more money, by all means, go ahead. I know that's why a bunch of people went to at least the country that they are from. It's that if it does happen again, they can go home and be with their family. If Shillington wants to go elsewhere, that's fine. It's okay. It's hockey. Players move all the time. It's fine.
Yeah, and he's just looking. He's just trying free agency. He's just trying to see if there's going to be something for him.
Yeah.
I don't, off the top of my head, I don't know I don't know what his number is. I don't know what, but there's still a chance that he goes into that free agency and he's like, oh no, it's not there for me. I'll come back home.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, it's always all about testing the market. Every sport, if you always want to test it out. If you don't know if the team you were just with is going to give you what you feel like you're worth.
That's ultimately what an agent's for.
Yeah.
Is getting the most money that he can for you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's fine. It's sad to see him go, assuming he does go somewhere, because he's a great defenseman. I imagine he's going to land on his feet somewhere, but I loved him when he was here. Hopefully he makes an impact wherever he goes.
Absolutely. The big thing with the Flames, though, moving off that, I think the biggest move when you're looking at people coming up it's going to be Zane Parik. We've talked about how fantastic Calgary Flames did in the draft. Zane Parik, Andrew Basha, Braeden, who was fantastic with the USHL. Man, oh boy.
Yeah.
2031.
Again, 2030, 2031, we're going to be a problem. Watch out.
Be a problem.
You hear those footsteps that come up behind you and won't appear until 2030? That's us.
That's us. We're
That's
coming.
us.
We're coming slowly.
We're coming. We're coming.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, well, Calgary, Montreal,
Get the
NHL
tattoo.
final.
Calgary, Montreal
Calgary,
final.
Montreal 2032 final.
That's a redo of the
If
89.
that happens, I will sell my house.
Slafkovsky wins the Conn Smythe while the Calgary Flames win the Stanley Cup. Deal? Deal.
Done.
I'd love to see it.
There you go. He admitted it.
Yeah.
He would love to see the NHL or the Montreal Canadiens lose the Stanley Cup.
As long as Slafkovsky gets the
As
Conn
long
Smythe,
as
he's happy.
Slafkovsky
Well,
gets
no.
the Conn Smythe.
Hang on.
You just agreed to it.
You just agreed
You
to
just
it.
agreed to it.
It's on camera.
That's the Google Meet lag. I didn't hear what you said.
Moving on from the Calgary Flames. Where are we going?
Let's go to the Dallas Stars.
Where are the Dallas?
Fairly active. They've signed Matt Dumba to a fairly polarizing signing. Some people think he's not
crazy
worth
active.
it. It's a 2-year signing in Dallas for an AAV of $3.75 million.
For some reason, whenever I check up on anything like Dallas signings, the only thing that comes to my mind is Casey sees this as Love Island, who are the new guys arriving at the
Yeah.
That's pretty accurate. And obviously her favorite player on the Dallas Love Island, Matt Duchene, signed another 1-year contract. He's sticking around in Dallas.
When you're a team like Dallas, it's hard to look at your team and know what you should change.
It is very, very tough. And I think they should be very excited with what they've done.
Because Dallas made the conference finals after losing, and they lost to Edmonton.
Yeah.
So I always find being in that position kind of tough because you lost, but what could you really improve upon?
Yeah, they couldn't have played much better.
No.
It's a tough thing with a team whose better players are in the later stages of their careers. Not saying that, older players can't get it done, but it's, Duchene's not getting any younger.
Nope.
Ben's not getting any younger. Sagan's not getting any younger.
Pavelski's leaving.
Yeah, Pavelski's retiring. That was his farewell tour.
I feel like this, not to, try to downplay it or anything in the moment, but this might have been one of Dallas's best chances to get it done.
I think Dallas might start to struggle a little bit more for those exact reasons as well. They're older.
Yeah, they probably had their window pass from 2021 to now. Duchene 33. He's probably got a couple years left in him, but he's definitely on the back three of his career.
He'll get another contract, I think, after this 1 year. He'll fight.
Oh, yeah.
How much I've just talked about Dallas and saying they might be on the downtrack. Casey could be in the WhatsApp chat, just like losing it on me right now secretly. I have no idea.
I haven't got any notifications, so I imagine he's not listening.
Nothing's popped up yet.
Well, that's good.
They're still looking good, though. I think Dumba is a great addition. I think they re-signed who they needed to. Yeah, nothing to complain about with Dallas.
Just going through the teams here, I'm trying to see.
You know where we should stop? We should take a stop to our favorite little fanboys team,
Pittsburgh?
The Pittsburgh Penguins.
Let's go take a stop off at the Merrick Robinson Station.
And unfortunately, they've traded Sidney Crosby to the Honolulu Huma.
They're retaining half, and they're receiving a seventh round pick for it.
And also some tuna, I heard.
I heard that as well. Yeah.
Also sending them a Yeti.
In all seriousness, they signed Sebastian Aho. No, not that one.
Different Sebastian. I learned about this at the beginning of this show. I was like, oh, I saw that, and I was like, oh, that's huge. Pittsburgh got Sebastian Aho.
Nope.
Why is there two?
The other is Sebastian Aho.
Whose idea was that?
The New York Islanders defenseman Sebastian Aho is now a Pittsburgh Penguin along with Matt Grzelcyk.
So how can you be a Sebastian Aho in the NHL and not even be the Sebastian Aho in the NHL?
Imagine
how he feels.
Imagine having the same name as someone else and you're not even the best
You're
Sebastian
not even
Aho
the best.
in the
Like
league.
I know, like there's other guys named Tremblay. There's lots of other Tremblays in Canada. I know I'm not the coolest Tremblay.
Yeah.
I'm the coolest Phil Tremblay, I think, because I don't think there's any more.
There's probably a couple.
Yeah, but I'm still probably the coolest. I'm not that lame.
Yeah.
But Sebastian, imagine if I was in the NHL, I would definitely be the coolest Phil Tremblay.
That's going to be an insult that I can use this year. You don't even have the best Sebastian Aho.
There you go. You don't even have the best Sebastian Aho. You got the budget Sebastian Aho.
You got the wish Sebastian Aho.
The Kirkland, the Timu Sebastian Aho. But I am looking at this list from Pittsburgh, and it's not looking awful. I mean,
No,
they could do to get rid of their senior citizen.
Blake Lizotte, 2 years. Boku Mama, 1 year. Anthony Beauvillier, 1 year. Again, another team of just 1 year, 2 years. Prove it, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, prove it and go for there.
This is a big prove it year for at least a lot of guys. There's, like we said, there's hardly any like 3+ year contracts. It's like a lot of ones. Seen a couple ones where it's one year, 2-way contracts. Like it's definitely. I could see next year as well being another massive free agent moving season.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Especially again, yeah. You got all these 1 year contracts. What are you going to do with them at the end?
Let's.
The 1 year, the new guys who are going to expire coming up this year. So it's like.
It's going to double up.
Don't buy a house, guys. You might just want an apartment.
Yeah, just
might want to bunk with someone else for a little bit here.
For a little bit. Maybe go to Honolulu.
Let's jump to the West Coast here. Do you want to jump to Seattle or San Jose?
Ooh, Braeden, you pick.
You know what? Former Canadian signed for San Jose. Let's go down there. Tyler Toffoli, 4-year deal with the Sharks.
Tyler Toffoli, that's a huge deal for the Sharks.
Now,
I love Toffoli. Was a massive part of that Magic run we had. Wish we still had him. I mean, I wish we could duplicate him and kind of send him to a couple. I'm sure there's a couple teams that would love to have him.
Calgary.
San Jose is getting absolute ringer up front, though. That's the big thing for them.
Pop quiz: how many teams? Once Tyler Foley plays a game for San Jose, how many teams will he have played for?
7.
7.
This was
8.
This was one of the trivia
This is a
questions.
trivia question.
This will
From
be
earlier in the season.
This will
This
be
is-
his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th team.
That's what I said.
This will be his 7th. Yeah.
I nailed it.
Alex had to count, Phil. He didn't know off the top of his head.
Oh.
No, I was building suspense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He
I was
started.
wrong.
He started with the Kings, won a cup there. Went to Vancouver for a bit. Montreal, as Redshaw mentioned, went to Calgary, New Jersey, Winnipeg for 18 games, and is now
A San Jose Shark.
with Macklin Celebrini and Carson Wetch.
Oh my God. Oh, that photo. We'll talk to that photo.
We're gonna talk about
We'll talk about that photo
later.
when we
but-
get to WHL Corner.
Do you think when when Toffoli showed up to Winnipeg, his agent was like, "Don't look at the housing market too."
Yeah,
This is just short term.
short term. I
I'm
think Winnipeg did
working
way
on
better.
something.
Winnipeg did
He
pretty
showed him
good.
like the pre-stuff down south. Like, look at this one. It's in San Jose. He's like, "Are you serious?"
Look at this 7-month lease on the outskirts of Winnipeg that you can get for 30 cents.
Don't focus on the stabbings. You'll be out here soon. It's okay.
Alex
Don't
beat me
get too
to it. I was gonna. Let's do it.
But you know what? These are not bad moves from San Jose, and I think San Jose, they're worse than Calgary.
Casey's gonna love the Alex Weinberg pickup.
Phil, hang on. What did we say about talking bad about San
I
Jose?
know. I got screwed on that one.
What did you learn? Nothing.
There were as of the end of last season, they're worse than San Jose. I would say they are maybe in a similar spot to Calgary, on the way to a big rebuild that could very much pay off in a couple of years.
Yeah, they're definitely trying in the right direction. Casey's gonna love the Weinberg pickup. The Ty Dellandrea case has been kind of dealt with now, signing a 2-year contract with the Sharks as well. They're on the right path.
Yeah, can't complain.
It's probably gonna be close to like 2035.
Yeah,
Rather than
after
2030.
the Wolf Perrick dynasty
Yeah.
in Calgary.
And then we go north to Seattle. Brandon Montour and
Also
Chandler
big, huge
Stevenson
moves.
signing contracts with the Kraken. Ili Tolvanen is another kind of smaller name there with a 2-year contract there. They also have RFAs left to sign in Matty Beniers.
Yeah, good old Seattle.
Yeah.
It's hard to care about Seattle. Right
This
now.
is where I don't know what to make of Seattle, just because they were buns their first year, and then the second year playoff team, and then this past year they were buns again. So
I think Montour's going to help them a lot.
I think Stevens is gonna help them a lot too.
Yeah, I mean, these are not terrible moves. I mean, that's how it goes with the ones that actually get talked about. None of them are terrible pickups, because they're big players that are obviously going to get picked up with somebody. It's kind of like a why not me situation.
Yeah.
The crazy number to me is like the over $1 billion that teams spent
That
on the
number was
first day.
nuts.
One day. And none of it
yeah.
got given to me.
I think it was $1.12 billion.
And you couldn't have spared like 100 for me?
Yeah, couldn't have shot me like $5,000 just for covering your league.
Yeah,
Come on.
we're giving
He
information
wants
to
a
like
check in the
70
mail
people.
every 2 weeks. He just wants his name on the check, a nice little amount, and that's all he wants.
Literally give me 0.01% of what you guys all spent on Monday, and I'll be happy.
You bunch of selfish.
Yeah. Come on.
Aiden, can I get a time check since we kind of bottled the start of the episode there?
We started at 45.
Started at 45, so that's half an
So
hour.
we're halfway through.
You're half an hour in, boys.
Sure. Let's jump to.
Should you just rip through some of the other like kind of big notable ones instead of going team by team?
Tampa. I have to mention this because I'm a Flyers fan. Tampa signed Cam Atkinson. Great pickup. I'm gonna miss him. Toronto signed Tanev, which I found shocking. Ekman Larson and Domi. I had a
Big
problem.
moves.
I had a problem with the Tanev contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So if I pull up Chris Tanev on Hockey Dub, I think the Tanev contract was like a 6.5 AAV. The last time he played a full season was 21-22. He didn't play a full season before that.
Like since then?
Period. His first full season was in 21-22 with Calgary.
Oh. He's good though.
He's good though, but
It's just because he throws himself in front
he's
of everything.
wicked injury prone. Why are you paying a wicked injury prone $6.5 mil?
Because that wicked injury prone guy is going to stop a puck that's going for a goal that you need that to not go in. He's the guy that's
Yeah,
gonna
but then
do
he's
that.
on IR for.
Then he's on IR for a while.
Yeah, and then you bring him back in the playoffs when it matters, pull a little Vegas situation, then you're golden.
Do you guys know how old he's going to be when the contract ends?
Like 74.
He's going to be 40.
Oh, that's not.
Wow.
40's
old.
40's old.
40's old.
40's not
especially for
good.
a guy who throws himself in front of everything.
At least I think it was 6.5 by 6.
It's one that might pay off, but at the same time, it's one we could look at this in, 7 months and be like, what were they thinking?
Looking at some other.
6 year, 4.5. Sorry. Still, you have someone sign until he's 40.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't get it. I get they need help on their back end, especially I'm pretty sure Tanev's right-handed as well. But I don't get it. I really don't. But I mean, I guess Treliving's there now, so maybe Tanev's a Treliving guy.
Yeah, fair enough. Another big one I'm seeing, Monahan, $5 million, not $5 million, $27.5 million, 5 years, Blue Jacket.
Playing with Gaudreau again.
Yeah, that's cool for him. Sucks to be him though. He's got to go live in Columbus. Bummer.
Another big one. Jake DeBrusk, 7 years to Vancouver.
Go chill with his dad for a bit. 7 years to be exact.
Same with Vincent Desharnais, a 2-year contract in Vancouver as well. They're kind of silently working on themselves.
And it just kind of also makes me sad that part of working on themselves in Vancouver didn't include Lindholm.
Yeah,
I thought it would have.
That garnered a lot of hate on kind of the Canucks Reddit and Canucks Instagram posts. It was okay. So they re-signed Tyler Myers, but they let Zadorov go.
Yeah.
Which apparently a lot of people hated, and I see why. If given the option between the two, I would way rather Zadorov.
Oh yeah, me too. I love Zadorov. Big Z.
Also a bit of a reunion in Vancouver with DeBrusk as Heinen. Danton Heinen also signs a 2-year contract as well.
Pinto Bean did some moves as well. We love Pinto Bean.
We do love Pinto Bean.
Even though he got suspended for
40 games.
40 games for betting. The big one, that's the most recent, I would say, is the Tarasenko signing.
Detroit.
Tarasenko to Detroit. I think that's crazy for Detroit. I think they're going to very much enjoy that.
Should we mention Samsonov to the Knights?
Yeah. So let's talk about that a bit. I don't know what they're doing. So they trade Thompson like an hour before he has an autograph signing with fans. They trade for Akira Schmid, don't qualify him, and then sign him. And then they're signing Samsonov.
It's like...
Why are they making their goaltending worse?
Yeah, like...
Just putting all their
was like
chips on Hill.
bubble playoff. Lots of people had them as the favorite. Like...
I wouldn't.
I mean, I'm talking like... I think, wasn't that like Phil's prediction earlier in the year was they were going to win it?
Yeah.
I mean, I had them in my bracket.
At the beginning of the year, I said Hill was going to win.
I think a lot of people had Vegas to do well, but now it almost feels like they've just gone downhill a little bit.
They've kind of sold the farm.
They have sold the farm a bit.
I mean, all of the Misfits are gone now. No?
William Karlsson, I think, is still there.
No.
I think he was an original Misfit. But Martinez gone, Marchessault gone, Will Carrier gone. I don't know what the plan is. Stevenson also gone. It was an original Misfit technically. If we can shift off of signings, unless Red Shaw, you wanted to mention one more before we move off.
Honestly, no. I'm good to keep it going.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good with signings and stuff.
Let's talk about ones that haven't happened, and specifically, I am a little bit shocked that Martin Necas is going to arbitration, along with Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
I love that. I would sign him just for his name.
Kirill Marchenko, another one. Ryan Lindgren are probably the biggest names on that list that I probably am surprised that they're going, because apparently the contract or the projected contract that Necas is probably potentially going to get per Kayla Douglas on the score, 8 years and $8.82 million. Which I wouldn't have a problem with that. Necas is, I've had Necas on my fantasy team for the past 2 years now. He is a shot merchant. He puts everything on.
Yeah.
And ultimately, that's kind of how you get goals.
That is kind of how you get goals.
So
Another name that I'm looking at that I kind of want Calgary to pick up is Cole Sillinger, just for the memes.
Just for the meme.
Just for the memes. We say as Tate McRae is probably just
needs
finishing up her
attention.
set right now at the Cowboys tent. I think that would be funny. I don't know if he's any good. I think it would be funny.
You just want the memes.
I just want
the memes.
We don't even have to play him. Send him to the AHL, but sign him to the Calgary Flames.
For the memes.
David Gray, come on, East. You can come hang out with me. Come on.
Do it. Going on, Braeden.
Anyway,
News coming out of Edmonton as well is that they're unlikely to discuss an extension with Evan Bouchard this summer because they don't have a GM, because they have to focus on the McDavid signing, they have to focus on the Draisaitl signing as well.
speaking of the Edmonton Oilers,
It's going to be costly.
yeah,
This one's going to hurt, I think. If Draisaitl thinks he wants to go elsewhere, that blows a hole in your ship.
absolutely.
It's
I think this was
lose-lose.
Edmonton's chance. This year was Edmonton's chance. I don't think they're going to get another one.
If Draisaitl, if they keep the band together, their window lasts a few years longer.
Maybe.
Because Skinner's still good. If Draisaitl wants to stay, that means McDavid probably wants to stay as well. That means Bouchard wants to stay as well. I think
It's a domino effect. They got to pick. If somebody's going, they have to go, and they kind of have to hope that not a lot of people want to go with them. But if you can get as many pieces as you can back, maybe they get another 2 or 3 years shot at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, fully agree there. He's coming up on he's coming up on the end of a $3.9 million contract. He's probably going to get way more. He was a massive part of the finals run for Edmonton this past year.
See, I think Edmonton needs to be careful, though. I think
He's a right-handed defenseman.
if they overpay all these guys, they're going to end up in a Toronto situation where they have all their money stacked up in 4 dudes that when they don't perform, you're screwed.
So it's not overpaying because
Well, it's not overpaying, but you know what I mean.
It's a lot of money tied up in these guys. I do see what you're saying. They got to figure out a way to work this out. Also, rest in peace, Cap Friendly. Today's the last day for Cap Friendly. Enjoy your time with Washington. Hats off.
Enjoy your time with what? Is
or
that
one
what
out.
my hair looks like? Oh, no.
I guess we're going to be all shifting to Puckpedia this coming September.
Even Elite Prospects has already shifted to Puckpedia.
Mm-hmm.
And I know this because speaking of the Edmonton Oilers, they'd made a move. Was that today, I think? Where they
The
acquired...
McLeod pick or the McLeod trade with Buffalo.
Yes, with one of the best players from the last few years in the junior divisions, Mr. Matthew Savoy. You are a Bakersfield Condor. Not bad at all. There was a lot of hype behind Matthew Savoy when he was coming into the league. I don't mind this at all for Edmonton. I think that's a pretty good one. But I just mentioned that because, and you should know this too, is Puckpedia is now, because usually on Elite Prospects it says powered by Cap Friendly.
Yeah.
It's already gone. It already says powered by Puckpedia.
Buffalo's furious at this. Buffalo fans are furious at
I'm
this.
not even 100% sure Buffalo exists. So,
Like as a city or as a team?
in general, I think it's fake.
Do you ever hear the? We're gonna get off topic, but that's but that's what the last day of school is. Do you ever hear the theory that I think Sweden doesn't exist?
Oh, Sweden definitely exists.
Well,
I 100% can confirm Sweden exists.
the theory is that there is this kind of world population number, and the error rate or the margin of error was exactly the
population
of Sweden.
No way.
So
That is
so they're like, you
awesome.
know what, Sweden doesn't exist.
Or they might exist twice.
Yeah,
There might be 2
Yeah,
Swedens.
Sweden might be double the size. What do you think it is?
There might be double
You
Sweden.
just don't know.
You just don't know. We don't know these things. Hopefully someone gets to the bottom of it. Anyway, with about 15, just over 15 minutes left in the show,
Aiden.
Aiden Johnner's got a question about hockey.
Are you ready for a question about hockey, Aiden Johnner?
Oh, it's my first time doing one of these. I can't hear him.
A prompt on the bottom of the,
a prompt on the bottom of the
this.
screen. Excited to see that. Aiden, John, let us know how much time you need, and we will get to it. 5 minutes.
5 minutes, so we can tap down to
So
5
let's
minutes.
talk about the picture
The
of
Carson
Macklin
Wedge and Macklin Celebrini.
and Carson Wedge. I had it open somewhere, and now it's gone. Bummer.
Such a cute picture.
Such a great picture. I didn't even know that they were
No.
like that. Like that they were teammates back then. I knew they were teammates when they were at the U18 World Juniors.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to find what the team is. Childhood photo. Doesn't even say. Thanks.
Which is fine. I don't
Thanks,
need it.
NHL.com.
Which is fine. I don't really need the team.
They grew up together in the Vancouver area. So that's pretty sweet. I love that photo. It's such a good photo. Also, I love Carson Wedge. It's so exciting to see that. Celebrini's obviously probably going to be playing with San Jose next year. Wedge, it'll probably be up in the air. I would assume he's probably playing with the Hitmen one more year at least. If not, maybe I'm a little bit crazy. I don't know. That's what I got.
Do you have anything else for your WHL corner while we're still here?
I do, but it's a little bit more than 5 minutes, so I don't want to waste it on dancing around. But we can and just make Aiden John wait. WHL corner.
You're waiting. I know I can't speak to you or hear you, but you're waiting. We're doing Phil WHL Corner. Let's go.
Okay, we'll
Let's
do Phil
go.
WHL corner. Going into this season, well, first of all, we were excited to see that obviously Carter Yakimchuk was at development camp with Ottawa. Not a big surprise because he was picked seventh.
I know where you're going with this.
Seventh. We also had Carson Wedge, obviously down in San Jose for development camp. Oliver Talk was down
LA.
with LA. And then we had Maxim Moranov.
This one made you a little bit mad.
Which I'm not mad. Not mad at all. I'm stoked for Maxim Moranov. Obviously, he's a 20-year-old. He's going into his 20-year-old season. He's got nowhere else to go right now. We can talk about the Maxim Moranov story if you want, but he's got nothing else to do. He's with the Leafs right now.
Which you found surprising.
I was just a little surprised in general. Not a name that I would expect. Obviously, the 04s going into next season, they're all in their 20-year-old season. I was looking through the list, and usually going into a 20-year season, or going to each season, a team has to make some cuts because they're only allowed 3 or 4 20-year-olds in each year.
Okay.
Hitman got rid of all their 19-year-olds last year, so we're good.
Yeah.
Our top one is, and I didn't really think about this until I actually looked at it, our top 20-year-old is Maxim Moranov, other than our goaltender, Ethan Buenaventura. Obviously, I was trying to figure out like who's going to be in, who's going to be out, and then I was like, I don't need to figure this out. Everyone's in.
Hooray.
So there, hooray. The Maxim Moranov story is crazy. So he's Russian, obviously. He has not seen his family since he was 15 years old.
Sounds right.
He has not been back to Russia because he can't.
Yeah.
Because Russia, invaded places. So that
Russia
sucks.
kind of.
Oh no, we lost him. Red Shaw, come back. Oh no, he's frozen out.
There he is. That's right, Shaw.
He's back. But yeah, Russia good thing it cut out when it did. But your 20-year-olds, I believe, going into this season for the Calgary Hitmen, we're looking at Gavin Schmidt, who will probably hold on to, even though he's only played 1 game with us. He's a Calgary Canuck. We're also looking at Maxim Moranov, obviously. Yep. We're going to hold on to him. We're looking at Carter McAdams, who for some reason is still on this list, even though we traded him to Tri-City last year. They do a pretty bad job of updating these websites. Come on, man. Do better.
Do better.
That's all I got.
Phil says do better.
That's about all I got.
John, are you ready?
Good job, Maxime Moran.
I'll save my point for after.
Johnner, how we looking?
Johnner is ready.
Johnner's got a question about hockey.
All right. You guys are going to have to fill me in because
we will.
Okay.
Question.
Here's a graphic. All right, I got to lean in. From 2010 to 2020, what team made the best, most consistent choices during the draft? Who do you think will be the best in this decade? So,
not Calgary, that's for sure.
From 2010 to 2020, what team made the best, most consistent choices during the draft?
That is a difficult question.
That's a good one.
Holy, Mr. Aiden Johnner, that was fantastic. I have no answer. I do not have the answer.
Why do I think it's going to be Edmonton?
I've got.
I guess
That's the name that
2010.
came to my mind, but I've got nothing.
I was gonna say Edmonton. Yeah, Edmonton. I was gonna say Montreal's done pretty good. At least in the past 5 years. I guess that's more 2020 to 2024 that Montreal's done a pretty solid job.
History.
We've done better recently than we did for a while.
Okay, so from 2010 to 2020, who the Oilers still have would be Nugent Hopkins, Darnell Nurse. That's not looking too great right now. Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid, Stuart Skinner was a draft pick. Evan Bouchard was a draft pick. Broberg's looking like a pretty good player so far. Same with Dylan Holloway, drafted in 2020.
I mean, there's like 7 names right there already.
Yeah, I think that
I mean,
after those names, you got to give it to Edmonton.
It sounds like you can't really beat that. Edmonton's probably the team to probably beat.
I don't think anyone's got better draft picks than Edmonton there. Those were pretty crazy names.
Yeah, they're again. I even skipped over a few people that aren't with the team anymore. So Ethan Bear was the name I skipped over. Oscar Klefbom was a great Oiler when he was still there. Taylor Hall was a great Oiler. Went on to better things in Arizona for a little bit, then New Jersey. Kyle Yamamoto's looking good in Seattle. Yeah. The best drafting team so far. I know Casey would also want me to mention Skylar Brindamore was also drafted by Edmonton in 2017. Yeah, probably Edmonton.
I would say Edmonton, and then I would say in the past 4 years it's been either Dallas or Montreal. I think Montreal's done a great job. Slavkovsky,
Montreal.
Absolutely. I think
Slavkovsky,
looking back on
Caulfield.
it now, Slav was the right pick coming out of that draft. Nailed Demidov this year. That kid's going to be
Absolutely.
amazing. I even like the center we picked up late in the first round. His name's slipping my mind. It's mostly because it's like 2:34 a.m. for me.
What are you talking about? That's not late.
That's early.
Yeah, you're now in early territory. For the Stars, Radek Faksa is on that list along with
Heiskanen would be on that list, no?
Heiskanen would be on the list, drafted in 2017. Title Andrea, that's a sad one. Thomas Harley is on that list. Same with Wyatt Johnson, Logan Stankoven. So potential for Dallas to be part of that kind of grouping as well, depending how well Wyatt Johnson and Logan Stankoven shake out. But yeah, I don't see why not. But from 2010 to 2020, it's probably going to be Edmonton.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Edmonton.
I think it's going to be Edmonton. John, or have we answered your question?
We have answered his question.
Beautiful. With 10 minutes
I
left
have
to go.
an
Mr. Braden
interesting-
Redshaw's got something.
Yes, from out east recently, like within the last month, the QMJHL had their draft, and boy, was there a shakeup with the number 1 pick.
Oh, tell us more.
So basically,
I'm on the edge of my seat.
Cape Breton Island, or the Cape Breton
Screaming Eagles.
Yeah.
had the number 1 pick.
Oh,
They
Okay.
they also happened to make the semifinals of the league this year.
Dang.
And so you
Tell me
think,
more.
their team this year is going to be like their big year. This year they're going to have the 19-year-olds, 18-year-olds, right?
Sure.
So you think it'd be an attractive location for a number 1 overall pick.
Absolutely.
Except the kid pulled an Eli Manning.
oh no.
What does that mean?
It basically means he said, if you draft me, I'm not coming. I only want to go play for the Quebec Ramparts.
Boo.
And so Cape Breton basically got a goalie, the 4th overall pick, and 3 like 16-year-old prospects for this kid.
That's
and
not bad, though.
they're
pretty
already
good.
saying that the 4th overall pick is going to be better than the 1st, and people are hoping that the guy's name is Maddox Dagnias from Blainville, Quebec, and his dad was also drafted by the Ramparts. Lots of there are many people in the queue now saying, I hope he turns out like his dad, and his dad did not have a good Q career.
Noted chicken lover Marc-Andre Fleury was also his Cape Breton Screaming Eagle, yeah?
Yeah.
He was a phenomenal Cape Breton Screaming Eagle. I could probably go dig through a photo album down over there and try to find a picture, but
It's late.
takes a lot of time.
It's early.
It's early.
It's early now.
It's early.
We only have
actually on the topic of controversy with the CHL. I don't know if we really want to get into this right now, but you brought this up to me. We probably don't have a ton of time.
We have 8 minutes.
Do we want to
I
just
want to
scratch
give
that?
a shout out first before I forget.
Yes, yeah, shout out.
I would love to, because I'm from out east and I've been doing a little promotion at my work. I would love to shout out Jamie McIntosh, the head pro at Lingan Golf Club.
You, sir, are a listener.
Thank you, Jamie, for listening in. Jamie's a big hockey fan. When I told him I had a pod, he started listening on Spotify.
Let's go.
He's a big fan. Jamie, I want to shout you out. You're a great boss. Thanks, man.
Let's go. Great shout out. Again, thank you so much. Our host from out east, Mr. Braeden Redshaw. We're so excited to have you back here in September when we come back for season 2. Now, as we wrap up the last 7 minutes of our show.
2 minutes for a CHL thing, and then we'll do 5 minutes for.
Can we get into that CHL thing in 2 minutes?
Yeah, you get 2 minutes. It's not that deep as of
It's
yet.
not that deep. There's a lawsuit basically going on that CHL players are not being treated as players; they're being treated as possessions,
assets.
which is what they are.
Which is basically what hockey is.
That's how hockey works these days. It's not great.
Nope.
Don't love it.
Nope.
But the biggest thing was talking about the U.S. team specifically, at least from the article that I read. It said that if you get drafted by a U.S. team, you're stuck there.
Yeah.
And then that U.S. team is also technically breaks like minimum wage law or something like that.
Yep.
So my very easy solution that I propose to the CHL is don't have any U.S. teams. Because you're the Canadian Hockey League. There's your solution. No more lawsuit.
Easy, eh?
Boom.
Yeah, you think it'd be that
Done.
easy?
I guess I could get to that in 2 minutes.
Yeah, I
Just
mean,
don't have any U.S. teams if you're the Canadian Hockey League. Pro
we'll,
tip.
we'll keep an eye on it. I imagine you'll probably do some short form stuff as that kind of grows, if it does grow into something bigger between now and September. But with the remaining 6 minutes, just wanted to just kind of wrap up the first season.
What a season it was.
So
I'm glad that I'm here to help you guys do it.
I don't remember if I said this on the first take or if I said on this take. I think I said on this take that we're going to do a compilation of the best moments. That there's still some I'm still putting together. I actually just finished the script for the best NHL Adidas jerseys from Adidas' reign and the worst Adidas jerseys from each team from Adidas' reign as official manufacturer of jerseys for the NHL from 2017-18.
Merrick is
to
still
this
working
past
on his
season.
Ottawa thing.
Merrick's working on his TikTok. I don't know why it's taking so long, but I guess perfection takes time. We're mulling over changing our name for this coming September. We're going to get a new intro for this coming September as well.
Yeah, we might have a band.
do we want to clarify the new intro?
No, we'll keep that a secret.
We'll keep that secret. All right, we'll keep that a secret until
Keep it a secret.
until it gets released.
See if people can guess it.
So yeah, we've been so beating you on the push about it.
Yeah, no one knows who's making
No
our
one
new
knows
intro.
who could possibly make the new intro. But I'm gonna eat up the last 4 minutes here, just thinking. Whether you've listened to the show on YouTube, whether you've listened to the show on Spotify, if you've watched a YouTube short, if you've watched an Instagram reel, if you've watched a TikTok, thank you.
Yeah. It's been a blast, man.
When we first started this show, I had no idea where it would go.
We still don't.
we still don't, but
We're gonna end up.
You know what we didn't think? We didn't think we'd be here in front of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cameras.
No.
We didn't think we would have someone from the East Coast radioing in somehow live, also on CMRU while filming for TV. We didn't know this was going to happen. We thought we weren't even filming our shows when we started.
yeah, we didn't have cameras until our probably 3rd or 4th episode.
Oh no, it was after that. It was like 6th or 7th. It was a bit in.
I think it was 3rd or 4th. I think it was 4th.
4th.
Yes, thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you
for that
listening.
graphic.
Thank you,
Thank you to
guys.
Aiden Johnner for hopping in
Our
as
fantastic
our producer.
lights, camera, green screen, throwing this guy from the East Coast right there.
This guy.
He's
This
not
guy
actually
right
there.
here.
I know.
He's
it's
not
crazy.
actually here.
He's
It's
not
it's a
actually
green screen.
there.
Aiden, you want to throw a different camera that has this view that I don't think the game's gonna work for that one? See?
Look.
Braeden
He's not there.
Redshaw's gone.
Redshaw's
He's not
gone.
really here. It's an illusion. It's an illusion.
It's all in your head. Oh, now he actually
now
left.
he
the
actually
scene.
left.
But yeah, it's been a fantastic little bit of time.
Yeah,
Can't wait
but
for season 2.
make sure you're watching YouTube for Best Producer Every Dude.
Best producer
Every dude.
We're working on his spelling.
Yeah, make sure you're watching for the best and worst Adidas jerseys. Make sure you're watching. I'm also going to do a bit of a couple of history videos as well, just breaking down the Thrashers, who are looking to be an expansion team, and the Coyotes, who are sadly not. But yeah, we look forward to seeing you guys in September for our season previews. Plankton Crabs, you will get your Phil Honolulu compilation. That is probably going to come up probably 3rd, 4th week of July. But that is it for this first season of Coast to Coast. I want to thank Landon Brown for joining in the first few weeks that we had the show. I want to thank Braeden Redshaw, Merrick Robinson, Casey Freeman, and especially Phil Trombley for coming in on the show as well.
We also want to shout out Brendan Parker for being a guest on our show.
Brendan Parker for being a guest on the show as well.
Shout out JJ Lutz for being a guest on the show.
Riley Clark.
I forgot about Riley.
How could you forget about Riley
I love
Clark?
Riley Clark. He was a fantastic guest on the show.
Clayton Yates,
Clayton from the
Armchair Athletes on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Make sure you give them a listen as well. But that is it for the first season of Coast to Coast. I've been your host as always, Alex Burko, with Braeden Redshaw.
Woo!
Phil Trombley.
Yes, sir.
Aiden John is going to be in my ear.
Yeah,
And we'll see you guys
hear that
in
in the mic.
September. Make sure you're listening and watching for all the videos coming out in July. We will see you guys in September with season previews. See you guys for live shows in October. Have a wonderful season. Have a wonderful summer, everyone.
Thank you,
And
guys.
everybody keep your stick on the ice.